Hey everyone, welcome back to the next episode of Motorsport Manager Mobile 3. So, today we had last time I should say, we had a pretty successful invitational event and a decent race in the APS, which got us more solid points to stay in second place in the Constructors' Championship. So let's skip ahead and skip through and get into qualifying. This is one of the longest tracks on the calendar. I think the first time we've actually visited Australia in this career mode. I could be wrong, but it's normally one of the more international races. So yeah, there we go. That's a good start. That's going to be a setup 47%. Actually, that's one of the best ones we've had so far. That's already a good start. Getting 1 on a 1 to 10. Ooh, this is looking good. This is going to be a really good setup, actually. Or maybe not. Maybe not quite as much as I thought it would be. 44% with Stewart. And you can see it's sort of like a big lady's boot shaped track. It sort of looks like a bit like Italy, the track itself. But anyway, I don't think we'll be able to battle for the top 5 in this race. I feel like this is going to be a track where it sort of suits the naturally gifted cars. We're sort of more relying on the drivers than the cars themselves. But who just go cheeky purple in the middle sector there. But Costa goes and throws a lap time in second faster, so I think that makes it pretty evident that our car is not quite where we wanted it to be. Going to the pit lane, let's go and put a bit of a better setup on here. Let's risk it. That's perfect. Good. That's exactly what we need. Looking good. And one last one. Should make it a perfect setup. Yes, it does. Let's go. Right, now Stewart, the better driver. Not too bad. Oh damn it, I should use the other one. Too fast clicking through. I'm not going to risk that. I'm not going to risk losing a whole setup on 2% or whatever it was. So, once again, let's go. We've already got a perfect setup with you, which is fantastic. I wouldn't have expected to get that only in 2 runs, but obviously got quite lucky with our setup cards. A lot of you guys are discussing the setup cards option in this game. Some people saying they like it more. I'm in that category. Other people saying that they'd like to adjust the setups more like MM2. I think it just adds a game within a game, which just makes it a little bit more exciting. Like, stressing over the setup so much is not maybe what a mobile game is about. Maybe in the PC game where it's all supposed to be more in detail, but this isn't supposed to be, I guess, as in detail as that in a way. So I don't know, it is what it is. People agree and disagree on that point, but I personally prefer it like this, the setup card option. It's like a game within a game. I like the enjoyment of not exactly knowing what's going to happen next. And you can see it, if you play, the person that's still more intelligent will get the better setups, which is probably why I don't get all the setups all the time. But generally, the better you are at setups will still enable you to get a better setup at the end of the day, but it's just maybe not as technical as MM2 was, for example. But to each their own. I prefer it this way. So yeah, saying I wasn't going to be able to be in the top 5, Hugh was going to put in a really good lap time there, considering she is not the better driver in the team, going 0.3 of a second faster than Stewart, so that's pretty impressive. Right, so if I remember correctly, this is quite a high deg track. But we're going to go medium, I think, with these. Actually, no, I'm going to go soft medium with you and medium with Stewart. And obviously we've got a great trait there as well. Or fuel burns 7% slower. No, you won't use that one. Okay, let's go. Let's try something different with these 2 drivers. And fingers crossed it's going to be a good race. So, lights are coming on. Lights are going out. And away we go here in Australia for... I can't remember what race this is in the season. Is this the 4th, 5th race of the season? I think it's the 4th race of the season. So let's see, Stewart's had a really fantastic start on those medium compound tyres, up to P7. P10 was Hugh, who's had actually a miserable start, dropping way down the order on those tyres, which is pretty embarrassing. Gibson on the soft tyres has done really well in conserving them in the opening stages. Stewart's dropped down to P12. Hugh needs to make up a few positions here, and in fact I'm going to push on the fuel a little bit here, because we should be doing better than P9 in this opening stage, and I can't be affording to lose too much time in this opening stage of this race. So I think we're going to be able to go to lap 6 possibly on these tyres, and then do the rest of the race on either mediums or possibly the hards, but hopefully we can get onto mediums because I think they'll work. I'm not sure who's better on tyre conservation either. People are already having to pit. That's crazy. They're really bad on their tyre conservation by the looks of it, some of these people. So we're going to try and edge out one more lap. It's going to be quite close whether that's going to work or not, but I think we're just about going to make it happen. I'm going to have to go slight into conservation mode, but we are going to lead this race, which is quite interesting to see. And yeah, I'm going to go on to some mediums for the rest of this race, which is perfect. Only need 8 laps of fuel, and there we go. Stuart now into P2 and closing in on the leader. Is going to come into the pits the next time by. Stuart's now going to push with her fuel. I'm going to put that back down to medium. That's going to go back to neutral, and all good. So Stuart hopefully is going to have a great in lap. And I tell you what, possibly could even go on to these soft tyres to end off this race. That might be an interesting strategy call to do here. If I can get, how long can the soft tyres last? 5 laps. So I mean, if I can get to lap 9, I'm probably not going to be able to get to lap 9, am I? It's going to be this lap I'm going to have to pit. Do I risk it? Do I risk it? I've done 8 laps on these tyres. I would have done 8 laps on these tyres. I think it's worth risking it on the soft tyres. 6 laps, yep, that's good. It's risking it more than needed, let's just say that. But if I want to get a good race result here, it's probably the most likely way I'm going to do it, because I was stuck down the back anyway. And actually Stuart comes out around Hugh, actually ahead of Hugh, which is quite interesting. So are there going to be people near the front of this pack that are going to have to pit? I feel like there's going to have to be, there's at least 5 in front of us here that we're going to jump ahead of here. So Stuart's up to P5, Hugh is up to P7, Stuart's now up to P4 with those soft tyres which are evidently quicker. Navarro on hard compound tyres, we should be able to get past with Hugh surely. Hashimoto for Bauspark is leading. Costa for Bauspark is currently in P8, so they're 2 of our main rivals who have about a 30-point lead right now, so we need to keep an eye on those 2. And I feel like we've got a bit of excess fuel with Hugh here, so we might be able to push here for this lap and try and get a few positions here. Maybe one on Navarro. Stuart's lost a position. Stuart's lost a couple of positions actually now. 2 laps remaining. I just don't know how much these tyres are going to degrade. I don't want to push more than. Okay, Stuart's going to get to the end of the race on this fuel. It's going to be very close. Stuart's now back up to P3. Now P2. Can she get to the end? No, she lost it right on the line. P3 and P5. Stuart with a really good strategy, worked out really well. Ran it on the rims and on the fuel right at the end there, but we definitely came out with a better race result than we did have a qualifying result, so I'll take that. That's good. And in terms of the points, I think we will have 25 points. So yeah, once again, Bauspark finished ahead. So sorry about that, guys. I just got a call actually, so I just had to take that, and then obviously got back to you with the video. But yeah, so not too shabby, but we still did lose points in the championship to Bauspark, which is a little bit annoying. Looks like we'll finish P2 in the championship, which I guess is okay, but I mean it's still a long way to go. I mean we're in round 4 of 10, so I suppose I shouldn't say just yet that we're not going to be able to get through, but it's looking like an uphill task to close like the 40-point gap. So that's that. P5 and P6 in the drivers, which is pretty good. I suppose that's our drivers still coming through. Just in general, I think this has been a pretty solid start to the season. I mean, considering we won what was the first one called? Is it Open Wheel Series? That first one was called? I think Open Wheel Sprint, we won that. Then the ERS we won in the first season quite convincingly as well. So to come up to APS and be competitive once again is quite good. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen many people do this, so I'm not saying amazing or anything, but I feel like we're on a good roll right now, so I'm just going to try and keep that going. So let's see what we can do here. We've got more to target. Can we target 2 at once? Not quite. What was it over here? Okay, 1 race left. Okay, fantastic. Drivers, another point available. I'll put that on the overtaking because Hugh's been struggling with that somewhat. Right, time to build some more new parts here. We're going to build a new set of everything. We'll just go with that. Performance, yes, that's exactly what we need. And what's this front wing? So what do we want? I think we want a bit more reliability. Good. There we go. Yeah, one of our new engineers really is good, aren't they? That really helps. So we got oh, sorry, there. Reliability 18. Well, okay, maybe we'll go with that and go up there. And what is this? Suspension. So we should have one that helps. Yeah. That brake specialist is absolutely terrible. We need to look into that actually. Brakes. Good. Brake specialist. See, our brake specialist is hardly any better than our gearbox specialist. I don't know what's going on there, I'm not going to lie. And as for rear wing, this is the last one. What was going to do? Is it 9, 19? There we go. And rear wing, we don't have a rear wing specialist. So we'll just go with that one. The gearbox specialist is going to give us a bit of an improvement. There we are. So new parts coming onto the car, which is fantastic. They're all going to be built soon. Actually, what's that? Sorry, just where was it? There. Build parts. Upgrade the HQ. Let's build the let's upgrade the HQ so we can start building gearbox parts. Right, so next up is the Russian Grand Prix. I think we should have 2 new parts coming this and maybe some sponsorship stuff. So this could be a pretty important week for us here. I'm going to give it to Stuart because Stuart has been the better driver, so we should be giving her the parts, I think. I know it's Constructors' Championship, but 999, 100% performance, wow, that's pretty good. Yeah, I knew as soon as I do that Hugh was going to be jealous, so I'm just going to do that and make sure they're both content. We don't want to give them like any traits. So we've got a third part as well, so 3 parts being built in 1 week, which is good, but the reliability a little bit worse than expected. And why is Hugh jealous? Hugh's car is better in both areas and she's still jealous. It's annoying. We might have to think about getting rid of her because she's starting to become annoying in terms of yeah, her complaining. Wait, what? Why is Vexler not retiring? That's why. We can literally persuade any driver we wanted on the grid, which is kind of crazy. And if you persuade a driver, they will definitely race for you or whatever series you're in. So, I mean, we could go crazy. I mean, Freya Larson, you know who that might be in real life, but the hypothetical character Freya Larson is surprisingly the best driver in the game right now, which is quite interesting. So that's Vexler retiring. So some of the big guns are retiring. Only at the age of 32 as well. It's quite young to be retiring. Anyway, yeah, interesting. Oh, actually, sorry, we had some pay. There were some pay drivers in there that maybe we could think about scouting, but maybe they are too much. I don't know. How much would I think the break clause in this contract would be crazy as well, wouldn't it? 3 million, yeah. Maybe we shouldn't have signed her up on such a long contract. That was a silly mistake on my part, looking back at that now. Right. Okay, so we're going to go to the sponsors, get some new sponsors signed up. That one's looking particularly fantastic. Yes, it is. And this one right here. 11th or above. Whoo! That is amazing, that one. That is an amazing sponsor. Right, so it's PlaySport Games. I didn't realise. Yeah, so PlaySport is coming home onto the car. Big legends. Of course, they made themselves a fantastic sponsor. But yeah, we're rocking the PlaySport sponsors, and it's raining in Black Sea, so surely this is a chance for us to get a good qualifying position slightly above where we'd normally expect. Good start. Don't want to risk it too much. Let's not risk it. And it's going to get dry pretty soon, so we'll get 1 lap time in, then we'll come in and get a better setup on. Oh, damn it, Alex, you're such an idiot. Right, welcome. I love that, just welcome. It seems quite random, but it just seems like something maybe that would be at a Russian Grand Prix track. So let's go on to our lap here. Fingers crossed the ladies can get a good lap time in here, but purple in the first sector briefly before someone else beat it. Of course, it's Costa. That was to be expected. But it's going to be dry now, so we're going to send out on dry tyres. Good. Okay, we're sort of stuck in a dead end. Can't really do much there. Let's go to Hypersofts. I really need to risk it now. Oh, Stewart's going to have a terrible setup in this race. That is inevitable. And damn it, I just sent her out on intermediate tyres. I'm so clever. Right, send out. Ultrasoft, not Hypersoft. Yeah, I'm sorry, Hypersoft's not Ultrasoft. What am I talking about? Go, go, go. Hugh did briefly go quick there. Probably can get another lap time in, actually. Stewart's going to be way down the order here. It's going to be embarrassing. Oh, damn it. Hugh actually should be able to get a new stint in, which is good. Okay, that's not too shabby. I'm going to risk it. Okay, that was heart in mouth moment as that setup was being put on. I'll tell you what, we might be lucky and just get a lap time with Stewart. We're just going to have to hope that this is nice to us right now and just get a somewhat decent setup on. I'm not going to risk it anymore. 18% is better than nothing. And yes, she is actually going to get a lap time in, which is good. Hugh's going to get another lap time in as well. This is quite a short lap. I didn't realise quite how short this lap time is. Across the line, Hugh goes P2, half a second off pole. Stewart's into the top 10, which is good. Now Hugh actually can go for even better setup, which is important. We might as well go for it if we're here. Not going to get another lap time in, but more importantly, the setup is going to be perfect come race day. Oh no, maybe not. Yeah, okay, it's going to be perfect come race day. Nearly jinxed myself there. That's good. Stewart's going to be way down the order here, but we might have to try something just interesting in the race. But a good lap there from Hugh, definitely paying off, giving her some of the better starts for better parts for her not to be too jealous. From Stewart getting some of the better parts, because obviously Stewart's been doing better this season. So P4, that's good. Meeting the sponsor objective of Old Play Sport Games. Hashimoto on pole position as well. We are definitely one of the worst drivers at the top of the grid, so that was a good lap time from Hugh there. Not really sure what to do here. Might as well just try something really out there in terms of strategy, as we're probably not going to be scoring many points otherwise. Aim is to get the sponsor objective here and try and stay P2 in the Constructors' Championship out of this race. Stewart's had a pretty good start on those tyres. Who had a mistake? I'm not sure who had a mistake, but Stewart's up into P9. Mikhailovic in P3, setting the fastest lap of the race. The Hypersofts are holding up pretty well. Hughes in P4 on 71% tyres. Stewart's down there in P13, P14, keeps switching around, but with tyres about 75%, so they're holding out quite well, and they possibly could last a longer than expected. I don't know, maybe not. We'll see. The Hypersofts are starting to degrade a bit faster now. Obviously, as they get towards the end of their life, they will get a little bit. They will degrade a little bit quicker. We might be able to go an extra lap than Costa and Hashimoto, and they obviously can't pit on the same lap, so one of them might run into tyre issues, especially because they both stayed out, surprisingly, here. So they're either going to stack or do something weird here, because we're going to pit this lap, because we're definitely not going to make another stint on those, and we're going to go into the Super Soft and try and take it to the end with 14 laps, a full tank of fuel on board. So one's pitted. Let's see, can we get out? Yeah, we've got. Oh, they stacked. Weirdly, they stacked. Why did they do that? That is very odd. For some reason, they stacked their cars, and that really didn't seem to work out. Actually, what? Okay, those tyres should pretty much last to the end, but we might be under a bit of pressure from the old Bounce Baraka. It's going to be a bit closer, but Stewart's actually a bit better on her. Sorry, Hughes a bit better on tyres than Stewart, I think. Pretty similar. Oh damn it, Stewart missed the pits, so he's going to do another lap. So frustrating right now. Costa's coming out to the back of Hugh. I feel like they're both going to be doing the same strategy, both on the same percentage, so this is going to be interesting. Where's Stewart going to come out? P12. Okay, that's a bit disappointing. Hugh has now dropped behind Costa. I'm just going to run my race and just see what happens around me. I'm not going to react to anything too distinctly here because I don't want to do anything too silly. Because I feel like Costa might... I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell because we put in max fuel, so I was like, maybe the reason they fell behind is because they had a mistake in the pit stop, didn't get enough fuel in. I don't really know. P2 is definitely solid though. I'll take P2. 5 laps remaining. The car condition looks good enough. We're going to start conserving now with Hugh because I feel like Costa might decide to pit in. 22% is doesn't seem like enough to do 3 laps. So we're just going to conserve. And Costa's retired. Wow, okay. Costa is retired from this race, meaning we can just conserve like crazy. And now let's come focus on Stewart, who's coming through on much better tyres. This could be on for a 1-2 result here with the... Oh, maybe not. I'm not sure whether we're going to get to the end of this lap on this fuel. I don't know, we'll see. Last corner, P2! We got a 1-2! Fantastic, lads. Exactly what we needed with Costa retiring and Hashimoto only in P5. That is our best result in APS. I didn't think this track was going to suit us. I didn't think we were going to even be in the top 5 or anywhere near it. And we somehow get a 1-2 finish. That is quite incredible. That is quite incredible. I would have never expected that starting this race. Obviously, because I said I didn't expect it at all. There we go. Pretty incredible stuff. 1-2, 43 points. And now only 4 points behind Bowers Baraka. Could this happen, lads? Could this happen? It's somehow all come together. Is this a reality? Could this come true? I don't know. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. I'm happy with that, though. With Costa's big failings in terms of the car reliability, it sort of brought us back into it. Not really in terms of legitimate speed. We haven't really been there in legitimate speed, but to be only 4 points behind, halfway point of the season, in a team that's just been promoted, I will take that. Thank you very much. And Hugh had a good interview that helped us sponsor appeal. So that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Sorry about the little interruption midway through getting a phone call, but I would have edited that out, hopefully. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys around soon. Goodbye.